Hey guys, how's it going? I've got a little bit of fixing to do on my skid steer. I busted the lights off the back when I was cleaning up the trees that I dug out along my driveway. And I also busted out the windshield this summer. That's like number 5 or something. Here's what's left of the old lights. Pretty busted up. I actually got, I was trying to move a big tree and the skid steer got pinned in between them and that got destroyed. So here's the brand new one. And one thing you'll have to do if you need to get one of these, if you have the turn signals, this part doesn't come with those. The sockets for the turn signals are 8764296, and the light bulbs are 3457s. Also compatible with 3357s. One thing I want to change on here is this. This is supposed to be for a beacon light. How many people are going to go out to just a random store and find a beacon light that plugs into this? I bet you'll be able to find one that plugs into a cigarette lighter just fine. And they have the same connection. So this one plugs right into it. That piece is a little smashed up there, so I gotta take that off and straighten it out a little. It's not perfect, but I think it should work. I won't tell the wife I got her table out here. I'll have it cleaned up. She won't even notice. Well, since I'm got this all apart here, I wanted to do a little upgrades to it before I put it back together. One's a cigarette lighter here. So I will have to drill a hole in it, which ends up to be about 7/8 of an inch hole. And that one right there is 7/8. So the way this mounts on the machine is like this. And I want this to face down because I don't want it to have a bunch of moisture, ice, snow, whatever, getting in this hole. So I'm going to put it down. And the cable is only about long enough to go somewhere around in here, which should be this one right here. So I think right there should be pretty good. That looks pretty good. There, now if I want to put a just off-the-shelf beacon on and use the switch in the cab, I'll be able to plug it in without taking anything apart. Another thing I wanted to add is a camera. In this box, we got a power cord. This is the extension cord. This is long enough to run to the back of an SUV. And then the camera. This is your power. This one's your video. It's adjustable. On this one, the label is down. Yeah, not real high-end stuff here. I think this camera was like maybe 10 bucks, 15, something like that. Then here's the monitor. I think altogether this camera setup, I bought it individually, but you can buy it together, I believe, is under 50 bucks. So you have a mounting bracket, and this will tilt, adhesive, your power cord, which I believe this is a reverse wire, and then these are both video. So on the camera, if you don't need the extension cord, you can plug this one right in. If you do need the extension cord, plug that in there, and then that goes into the other one. And then this has this fancy plug right here that plugs into the monitor, like so. We have a remote. And the monitor. I won't be using this bezel, but I think it is kind of neat. It's made for going into the headrest of a vehicle or opening into the dash, whatever. It just pops in there. I believe you put a captured nut in there, and then you can screw that like that, or you can screw it down like this. Right now, all I have in my skid steer is a rear view mirror from a car, and that's has a lot to be desired. The way the machine is, where I place that, you basically see if you're gonna like totally hit something, but you can't see if there's anything in the distance or what have you. So I'm gonna try to set this up so hopefully I can have a little bit better viewing. It should be well protected there. There's a lot of wires that get shoved behind there. And check your lights before you screw everything on, because I put together what I thought was the correct harness and it ended up being the center 3 lights, but I had it hooked up to them 3, and then I had the other 2 hooked up to here, so it's right now. Even though this is all pretty straight, it still doesn't fit all that tight on there. That's just the way it is. There's a lot of wires jammed back there and stuff. And there's a big gaping hole in the top. I think that's where your wiring for your beacon's supposed to go. So it's not like it's going to be sealed up real good. And you guys see the hole that the wires all went through? Well, this is where your air filter is, your cabin air filter. So it still will end up sucking dirt in through the wiring hole. Don't really like that, but that's the way they had it. Oh, the windshield is so much fun. It's got this little lip in here, so the windshield somewhat sits flush. And you got to take all this old adhesive off, and it's usually rusty underneath. Try to get that all cleaned up. Wiper has to come off. To try to make things easier, I bought this. It doesn't work too bad. Well, I feel that thing definitely sped it up. I have done it a few times with just a razor, and it wasn't very much fun. Now I gotta go back and clean some of this up with a wire brush and put some primer on it, and I should probably clean up my mess too. It got everywhere. Isn't that how everyone cleans their table? I'm gonna spray down all the bare spots with self-etching primer. Well, I gave the paint on the door a good day to dry, and while that was drying, I was working on mounting the monitor for the camera on the skid steer. Here's where I put it. It's about the only good place in here. It's a little dark, but I made an aluminum bracket that attached up in here and up in there. Screwed it up to that, and it doesn't turn on when you turn it to accessory, but it does turn on when you turn it to ignition. And this is capable, if you want to to have it come on when your machine goes into reverse, but my machine doesn't always set off the backup beeper, so I didn't bother hooking that up. I'll just leave it on all the time, and if it's too bright in the dark or something, it's that easy to shut off. So, and if you're looking from back here, it doesn't look very good, but I'm usually almost never sitting back that far. I'm usually sitting like here when I'm running it. So it should work pretty good for me. Might not work for everyone, but that's about the best place I could put it in this cab and still be able to clear the door when it shuts, because the little shock here comes to about here, and it just clears by like a ½ inch at the most. Well, I wanted to show you guys this before I put the door on, because then I'm gonna put the windshield in and I won't be coming back in here for a couple days. I'm gonna let it cure real good. So I'm gonna get the boom up out of the way. A lot of machines don't have this feature, but the New Hollands do. This red lever back here, once you get your booms up so high, you slide that out. That's your safety latch for your boom, so you don't even have to get out to put it on or off. Where a lot of the other ones, you got to get out and flip stuff. I like that. Put a little dab of grease on the pins here. They are pretty dry. Doors are going to be on there for a while. So this wire harness here is for your windshield wiper and washer, and also for your door safety. And that just, this should be plugged in there. And this is a bypass, so when you don't have your door on, you hook that up so you can use the machine. When you have the door on, you hook it up to the door harness. That way when the door is open, you can't go and stick the boom on the door and break it. It won't stop it from settling, but it'll stop you from setting it on it. Now, I only latched that on 1 click. It will go to 2 clicks, but I want to get the door on there real good. Let it cure. If I would go put this on to 2 clicks, it'd pull the frame, get it out of whack. I suppose this would be a good time to open the box. Make sure you got the right window. That looks like the one. So we can go ahead with adhesive. Looks like a pretty nice fit too, except for maybe right here. We'll have to put it a little thick between these 2 hinges. Now when you get started with this stuff, you're going to want everything around that you're gonna need to put this window in. You're gonna need the gun for applicating this, and you're gonna probably want some tape to tape the window in so it doesn't go anywhere. One other thing you might want is something with a little bit of weight to it that you can lean against the window to help hold it, but not too heavy that it's gonna break it, like a step ladder or something. And when you're working with the urethane, it's a good idea to wear some rubbers. This is 3M Auto Glass windshield adhesive 08693. Got to perforate that, got to pull the pull tab. Plunger in there. This caulk gun doesn't have a poking rod on it, so I just got a junk screwdriver here. And then you got to cut the tip. Just the tip. And then start gobbing it on there. It gets kind of hard to see the black urethane on the black frame. That should be sufficient. There, I got the ladder against the window, propped up against the cardboard box the window came in, against the tire changer, so it doesn't go sliding. You're going to want to line these bolts up in the hole and the wiper motor in there. That's real important, because you might need to get that out someday. So I'm gonna leave this sit like this for a few days. I don't need it for a little while, and then it'll be good to go, good as new. The wiper, you just stick that back on, tighten up the nut, stick the hose through there, good as new. Well guys, got the New Holland skid loader all fixed up, and hopefully I don't break a window out for a long this last one actually lasted me quite a while, but it's gonna get cold here sometime, so I wanted that back on. Thanks for watching, guys. Join me next time. Take care and God bless. You wanna run them?